What's going on, guys? Welcome back to NolanTCG, and I'm back here with everyone's favorite Shaddoll player, Jasper. And he's back here, spoilers, with Shaddoll.
With Shaddoll. Ghost of the Past.
Ghost from the Past.
Just dropped. Deck's changed a little bit, not too much, but thought we'd showcase the changes.
Overall, you've been doing very, very well over the past couple of months. Like, you've won this nice Yu-Gi-Oh map we're about to go down to, the Yu-Gi-Oh Day Halka 5 Racks 1.
I actually bought it, but I came second.
You topped a lot of these events, but you didn't outright win any of them, which is
but I won it in my heart, so.
In your heart. But let's take us through the profile
Let's go.
as we see the nice Halk mat.
Alright, let's go. So we got triple Alstar. It's the new way to play the deck, I guess. Sets up negates and continuous fusion spell each turn is pretty good. Triple Wendy, best Shaddoll, summons one face down. Really good for like grind game as well. Only 2 command at this time. The third is kind of like you brick one dolls. You don't want to brick one doll, so you cut down on it, and it pretty much gets you to Wendy. So you're playing 5 Wendy's and any other Shaddoll. For the other 2 ofs, we played 2 Hedgehog. Decided to increase this to 1 just because we're not playing any of the dogmatic cards in this variant, so you need the like more card advantage, and like to set it, search a spell is really pretty broken, I guess.
So I guess in just saying that you're not playing the Dogmatica stuff, this is already a budget build.
Budget build was, everyone was like asking like to take out like the Dogmatica cards in the last video. So they don't really add too much. Like, it's good if you get hand trapped, but if you do full combo and you have a Nidia Servant, it's kind of a win more card, doesn't really do much. So it's better in like the pure Shaddoll variant. It just feels like more of a win more card in top deck situations. It doesn't do enough where you'd rather just see a Shaddoll fusion or like an Alistair, I guess. For our one-offs, we play 1 base, draw power, summon off Wendy, keep on summoning it back with Incarnation. It's really good. Just sometimes you can send it if you need like more card advantage with a construct, but you typically summon it. You don't really want to send it. We play 1 dragon, a pop back rows. It's pretty good this format, but only play 1 of it. 1 aerial. You could make a case of playing 2. I was playing 2, but I legit bricked on it so much that I kind of only want 1 in the main deck. I can loop it a few times, but you can always side in the second one. And for the new boy, we play 1 of the Genius. This card's really, really good. We only play 1 of the new Shaddolls, and that's 1 Genius. The Fire one doesn't really do too much in this deck. It just doesn't do enough, where this is actually really good. You go second, you activate Shaddoll Fusion. If they don't negate it, you summon an Apclone in this, and it negates 2 things. And against something like Dragon Link or like, and most decks, negating 2 things is ridiculous, and it makes like Shaddoll Fusion such more of like a threat, I guess. And it's also really good if you just go Schism, summon, construct, send this, negate something. And the way it negates is it can't activate its effects. So that means it can't even pay costs. So if you negate something like an Assault A, it can't send the Eclipse to Grave, which actually matters quite a bit. And it's really good. It's very versatile. It's a flip effect, doesn't really come on enough.
So does it prevent activation?
Yeah, prevent activation. I'll read.
Cards can't be activated?
Target 1 effect monster on the field, neither player can activate that target's effects.
Yeah, cool. So it just can't be activated.
Yeah. So
I was like, it negates their effects, so it can't send because that's not how that works.
Yeah, no. It's Apclone negates effects, this makes activations. Yeah. So they aren't the same card. A lot of people
prevents activation.
Yeah, but it's good to stop stuff from like doing custom cards plus off costs. And that's
no
it.
Dante synth.
Yeah, legit. That's legit it for the Shadolls, and then we play for hand traps. We play triple Ash, hits every deck, hits everything. Nidia Servant, Red Eyes Fusion. It's not very high impact, but it's niche and hits every deck. That's why we play it.
Yeah. It's a lot of rogue.
Play the Gamma package, which is Gamma and Driver. It's really good in this deck because if they draw all you on like Meltdown or Ash, your Shaddoll Fusion, you go Gamma and you plus, so. Allows your deck to not be hit by like, let's say like Droll is hard, I guess.
Yeah.
Then we play Triple Meltdown, Terraforming. Said this before, I'll say it again. It's the reason why we play the new variant of this deck, just because to have your opponent not be able to respond to the fusion summons is ridiculous. We play like 9 different types of Shaddoll fusion cards, so to have it not being able to be negated or to like play through stuff is really, really good. Also allows your Schism, which is like the main win con of this deck, to not be negated by something like a Dragoon. So it's like a Dragoon out in a sense. So the main reason we play this deck. And to finish off that, we play 2 Invo. Don't really want to play 3 just because you'll brick on it, and you don't want to brick on too many like fusion spells. But 2's enough. You don't want to play 1 because if it gets DD crowed. We play triple Shell Fusion. Like I said, this card's like a blowout card going second. You summon Aquilone and send the new Earth, send Aerial, and you just get rid of the whole board. It just like plays through so much. It's so good now that like VFD's gone that like you can resolve all your graveyard effects, and honestly the best card in the deck. 2L, when saying that, this card's really good as well. It's really good going first because if they like Imperm or Veil your Alice, you chain this and like you still get the Invo, and it's just good to go for damage and OTK. And it's really, really good. Sometimes in game 2 or game 3, I'll send this instead of Schism just to play around Cosmic Cyclone.
Okay.
And to move on, we play triple Super Poly. This card's such a blowout card. Like it hits like literally.
Sorry, but is this 2 ulties and a gold?
And a gold, yeah.
I'm just gonna have to interrupt you just for that. It's good. We covered that.
Cut that. Yeah, it hits every deck. Like it hits Dry Brigade, not as good as other like blowout cards, but it hits every deck. And against the Mirror, you resolve this, you get rid of like a Winder and a Mecha Boss, summon a Construct, you win the game. Like it's too good not to play, and yeah, it's another fusion spell if you really need it, and it's really good to push for damage. We play double Pot of Prosperity. Since you're playing 2 different engines, sometimes you'll like clog on Shaddoll or clog on Alistair. This allows you to be more consistent and see more stuff. We don't play the 3rd because we, at most...
I didn't want to sneeze there.
Oh, I thought you cringed.
I tried my hardest to hold it in as much as possible, and that hurt a lot.
Jeez. Yeah, I thought you cringed at me saying that. I only played 2. We don't play the 3rd just because we only want to banish like 6 from the extra deck at most. It's very tight, but you can get away with banishing 3 because you play a lot of like fat in the extra deck, and it pretty much makes the deck like 38 cards, you know. Very, very good. And then for our last spell, we play Call by the Grave. Just to play around stuff like Droll, Ash, like an Ash on a Shell Fusion actually with Meltdown doesn't protect it, so we need to like play cards like this, and it stops like, you know, it's also really good against like Golden Lord decks and shit like that. And to move on, we don't play Foolish Burial. I decided against that card just because when you see it, it doesn't really do too much. Like you'd rather just use your Shaddoll in fusion spells.
A Shaddoll Fusion just does the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. And the most I was doing with Foolish Burial was sending Beast to draw a card if I bricked. That was it. It didn't really allow me to play through stuff. I always sided out, and I strongly suggest the same, but up to you. And the last 2 cards is 1 Schism.
Oh, just 1 Schism.
1 Schism, yeah, 1 Schism.
I thought guaranteed both those traps are going to be Schism.
Yeah, Schism, I was playing it 2 because people would banish it, but I'm playing it at 1, so people think I'm playing it at 2.
This is before locals. We can't say this too loud.
And also, you have a lot of fusion spells in this deck, so if this does get negated or banished, you can always play through it with like Shaddoll fusions and stuff. And then the last trap is Incarnation. This is really, really good in the grind game. Just keeping something back window, or Aquilone to negate something, or Construct to get more resources, or any of the Shaddolls like a Beast or a Hedgehog. On one of Ben's videos, where I versus Loz, I use this to summon Beast like 5 or 6 times in a turn, and 5 or 6 times in a game, and I was able to win because of that. It's just such a good card.
I got so lost by that. It was like your birthday as well, and you were like, make sure you put a Beast counter in. I was like, I lost count of how many Beasts you used.
Yeah, shout out to Ben for that. Moving on to the extra deck, we play 1 Artemis, Link 1. It allows your like hands full of dolls with like a fusion spell to be like a Construct, and you link off the Alice, so it's pretty self-explanatory. And same with Gravity Controller, link off a Construct to get like its like graveyard effect. And also this card's really, really good. Just at beating decks like Salad, you just shuffle back the Sunlight Wolf. And then for the last link we play Verte. This card's ridiculous, like so good against the Mirror, so good against most decks. This is how you at your Goon sometimes. I love this card. I wasn't playing it for the longest time, but if you're in a position where your opponent can only summon 1 monster and you have a Winder, they'll always attack over the Winder and typically leave this on board, so sometimes you can use it once, like twice. And just to send a Shaddoll Fusion and then even add back Shaddoll Fusion off a Construct or something is really good. Yeah, it's a fusion deck, you play a fusion extra deck, you know?
Yeah.
Moving on, we play triple Construct. Shaddoll, Invoked, you play 3 Constructs because it's the best card. It's complementary, not once per turn. It's ridiculous.
We're all
Or ulties.
The man's Gone all in on Shaddolls.
All in Shaddoll, bro. Please don't get hit in the ban list, please. That's it for the constructs. Pretty self-explanatory. Double Winder, because if they out one, they can't out a second one. Allows you to play through more. And this card's just good to add back resources, and it can't be destroyed by opponent's card effects, which is good against like Elfish decks, I guess. But most of the time they'll send that with Golden Lord. So that's it. We play only one app clone, just because we're not playing the Dear Servant, so the second one doesn't really come up enough. And it's a really good card to summon. Like, most people don't even know it's like fusion summon effect, but it's target one card on field. It's negated, and it's like not until the end of the turn. So you can just negate something like a Salamangreat Sanctuary, for example, and get Salad plays triggered.
That seems like that doesn't apply to a lot of people's locals, but that applies quite heavily to our locals.
Yeah, exactly. And our last doll is Shekinaga.
The new card?
The new card, yeah. The Earth makes is like really like accessible, just because you can Schism banish it, and to be able to have a negate is actually really good in case your Mechaba gets leaves the field, I guess. Also, this card's really good against as a super early deck, as a super early target against decks like Zodiac or like, let's say Dino, yes. Earth Machines, Megaclops especially. And that's it for the Shaddolls. Then we play one Raging for the one Raging. You summon it with
Getting further and further to the side.
yeah. We'll move it. We'll move it. Yeah, I realized that I was like moving over. Because you play Winds like Wendy, you can summon it easily. You can flip Shaddolls back down and flip them back up to recycle their effects. It's really good. Also, you can just flip down like against Zoo. You want to summon this instead of Mechaba because you can just flip down their normal summon and they'll pass. Then we play one Kallega. This is new. I used to play this back like last year. It's really good. You summon this with Winder, and like they can't win. You know, one monster effect is ridiculous. Most decks like can't play through one monster effect, and one monster attack means they have to attack this or Winder. So most of the time we get rid of Winder and just pass. You know, it's just super good. It doesn't have that much defense, but you just boost it with Alistair if they did attack. And most players will do that because they don't even realize you can boost it. And then we play Org. Org is just, ridiculous in this deck. I realized that all the invoked cards are like broken with Winder. This pops a card which is special summon. They can only special summon once, only one monster effect, and then to flip summon a card face down is ridiculous. Like the invoke cards are broken with Shaddolls. It's so good. So
broken with Winder.
With Winder, yeah, with Winder. Without Winder. And then the last invoked card, Mechaba, we only play one of this, just because, like I was saying, there's so many different applications, and you can summon most of these first turn actually. Just depends on who you're versing and what you're versing, but Mechaba is usually the typical one to summon just to stop like cards like Nibiru, and which doesn't really impact this deck much. But if you're going to summon Raging or Kallega, it will. But yeah, Mechaba, it's like one of the best ones, most generic, the best one in most situations as well. You could make an argument for playing a second one, but I know I'd rather summon like a Rage in next turn and flip something face down, because if you're summoning 2 and discarding 2 each turn, you'll waste your resources pretty quick. And then the last card, Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. Dragon Link.
Dragon Link support
big
target.
Dragon Link support target. It's kind of niche against the Mirror. Apart from that, just Dragon Link, just get rid of their Bolo, Savage, and Dragoon. GG.
I want to point out, man has fully committed to Shaddolls because he did get the fancy field center as well with the construct.
And I'll show you, and then my extra deck sleeves are the Shaddoll Fusion.
All of those Shaddoll Fusion extra deck sleeves.
Yeah,
Awesome.
so clean. Alright.
But do you have anything to say before we leave you today?
If you got any questions, jump them in the comments. I'll respond to all of them. Like, I love this deck so much, and I'll help you guys out.
He'll respond positively. Unlike the salad player.
Yeah, unlike the salad player, who'll wreck you on playing any more than 2 spinnies. But yeah, follow me on SoundCloud. Have a good one.
Have a good one, guys. See you.